sports all plays. Yeah. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to GWR Gonzo's Wrestling Room. Excuse me. Thursday, November 9th, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez, also joined by Marcus Fine, like always. And we got special guest Kid Dynamite Juston Terrell joining us tonight.
What's going on, guys?
Got a lot to talk about tonight.
I guess we do.
Yep, most definitely. Hey, Marcus, I'm going to let you start things off.
All righty.
Switch it up a little bit.
We'll switch it up.
Yeah, well, we talked beforehand.
Yep.
Well, I guess basically tell us how you got your start. When, where?
Oh, man. So I think I got my start like I want to say it was like 2005. It was I want to say it was springtime. WCWA. A lot of people don't like talking about that. We don't really like talking about the show either. But we're not going to get into the whole details on that. Like we'll keep all that stuff separate.
Is that the Rob Reeder show?
That is the Rob Reeder show. Yes.
Oh well, we know that story.
Okay. So anyways, so at the it used to be called it's the old Ivy Tech Center. It used to be the Johannic Civic Center. They had a double battle royal at the show. It was a 60-man Royal Rumble, 2 rings, and there was an advertisement on the back of the flyer that said, "Would you like to be a professional wrestler? Call this number." And it was his name was the Mercenary. His name was they called him Donnie Clark, DL Diamond. And I looked at my mom and I said, "Hey, I wanted to do this." And we made the phone call, was able to go do that, did the training. And then we had a little falling out, and J.H. Hogg took me under his wing. And from there, it's written itself.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm sure you were a fan prior to that moment.
Oh yeah, yes.
So when did you become interested? I guess I jump started early. That's where we're supposed to start with. But...
Oh, okay. So I guess my mom's in here, so I guess she can kind of tell you guys in the comments. Hi, Mom. By the way, I guess when my grandmother, my mom's mom, found out my mom was having a boy, she went out and she bought a whole bunch of wrestling stuff. I'm talking old school Sting, bleach blonde hair. The blow up bag where you punch it comes back, and the real thick hot plastic 5-pound action figure. So I guess that's really what got it all started, and ever since then growing up. But what made me want to be a professional wrestler was one particular wrestler. His name was Owen Hart.
That's a lot of people's answers.
Oh, that's funny.
Owen was one of a kind.
because I got some of that stuff still in my collection. So
Owen was way ahead of his time.
He really was. He really was.
okay. So that DL Diamond
Grandma
training.
bought you your first wrestling figures.
What's that?
So your mom says your grandma Debbie bought his first wrestling figures.
She sure did. She sure did.
That's all right. So then J.H. Hogg trained you. I take it Shane did.
Yes. After we had a little falling out with DL Diamond, Shane took me under his wing, and the rest is history.
Okay, so I know you wrestled, I guess, for that other place you just mentioned, and AACW. DCCW? We seen you there earlier in the year. What other feds have you worked for?
So I wrestled for RCW up in South Bend in Mishawaka. I wrestled for Jason Maples back when it used to be EWF. Excuse me. DL Diamond, which he was IWA. I wrestled for Evo, Evolution Wrestling. Wrestled for Caution High Risk Wrestling and Wabash. OCWA, Pro Wrestling Kings. I mean, you name it. I wrestled pretty much anywhere here. I wrestled down in Georgia for RCW. I tried to wrestle wherever I could and whenever I could, as much as I could back then.
And is Georgia and Indiana your only two states? Have you?
No, I wrestled in Georgia, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Illinois. I wrestled in Tennessee, Kentucky. I think that's basically the farthest I've been.
And you were Justin Hurt at one time, right? Or Jason Hurt?
It was Dynamite Justin Hart. It was paying homage to a high school role model of Dylan Hart and Owen Hart together. So I kind of wanted to try to pay homage to both of them somehow. So I did the Hart spelled like Earnhardt, but just took off the Earn and just went with Justin Hart.
All right. Well, your mom done kicked in there. You wrestled Zach Gallen. Who? Any other big names you worked?
I wrestled Zach Gallen at CHOW. I wrestled Sabu at CHOW. I actually wrestled Sabu in a King of Hardcore tournament, and I was scared. I was scared shitless. I won't lie. I was scared to wrestle Sabu in a King of Hardcore tournament.
Well, before you go any further, expand on that right there before I forget.
So
hear about that match.
All right, so I can't go into much detail with because I don't want to expose the business, but watching ECW and knowing how crazy they were and knowing I was going to have to wrestle Sabu, the King of Hardcore, I was scared shitless. Was not expecting the results that happened, but I was very, 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 very nervous going into that match.
Is that match anywhere to be found?
I don't think so. So. It happened at CHOW. We're not going to get into that fed either.
How long of a match was it?
I
mean, if you can, I know you probably can't remember exactly, but
I don't know. I couldn't remember. It happened probably 2010, 2011.
Wow. I assume you
What
walked
year
away
did
bloody.
you wrestle? What year did you wrestle for Maples?
What year? I wrestled for Maples 2007, 2008, maybe.
What name was you going under then?
I was going under Dynamite Justin Hart at the time.
I bet you we probably seen you.
You probably did. You probably did. It was at the Muncie show, right? Baseball diamond outside.
Oh,
That was our show.
Yeah.
Was that the only time you wrestled for him?
No. I wrestled a couple times for him. I actually wrestled Justin Danger, and I always get his name. I can't think of his name, but it was a triple threat match. It was me versus Justin Danger and someone else. Well, the guy, his gimmick, somehow he transforms himself into a referee and basically cost himself his own title by being the referee and counting the 1, 2, 3 for me. That match, I do believe there's a music video of that match on YouTube.
Where'd that take place? Was that there at the old?
That was at the Muncie show.
Was that at the
Muncie show? There's actually a DVD
Yeah.
of that show floating around somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, that was at the Muncie show. Okay. So at Marion, did you wrestle in Marion?
It was Nate Phoenix, and no, I never got to wrestle at Marion. It was always the Muncie show. That's when I got started, when he was over at Muncie.
Nate Phoenix was Jason Maple's stepson at the time.
Yep.
See, Justin would know because those two were a tag team.
Yep.
He was Anarchy and Phoenix.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Yeah, because at the time, me and Bob were in I was put in a stable with Bob Steele,
Which was also Jason Maple's stepson.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think Phoenix's stepbrother. I don't know, but anyhow. All right, Tony, go ahead.
Okay. Did want to ask you, since you mentioned some other places and stuff, other than Kokomo, what's been your favorite crowd to be in front? I know Kokomo's outstanding, so I was leaving them off the list because they're my favorite crowd to probably go see. But
Kokomo's wild.
Yes, it is. That's great. But what other places have been really good to you?
Outside of Kokomo, I'd have to say up there, RCW in South Bend. That was always a hot crowd. When me, Hank Calhoun, and Chris the Coolest Ross, we went up there and we were the Cool Heart Society, and people hated us, but we got over so much that we started seeing our different country flags hanging up. People bringing in the flags of different countries because we were a group of anti-Americans at the time. We were Americans that hated the government, but we were a group of collective that wanted a brotherhood, and it got over. And now that Hank's back and he's wrestling at AACW, it's pretty exciting to see some of the the memories fly back and whatnot. But sometimes you got to leave the past in the past and see where the future goes.
And speaking of that, let me ask you this question: why are you retired?
Why am? Oh, I mean, the big main reason is one. I got to get my back. I got to get my back fixed. I got a bulging disc in my back that's causing my sciatic nerve to be pinched. It's not big enough to have surgery, and it's not small enough to just deal with. And if I don't get that taken care of, I can't perform the way I want to perform. And if I can't perform the way I want to perform, then I'm doing you guys a disservice. I'm doing the fans a disservice, and I'm doing AACW and any company I wrestle for a disservice. So I have to at least get that taken care of. Plus, I've always said even back in 2016, it was 2018 when Mallory, my middle child, when she was born, I wanted to retire then simply because I don't want to be that dad, that pro wrestling dad that can't walk around with my kids or go outside and throw a baseball, throw a softball, or I don't want to be that dad. And I always said, like, as soon as they got old enough and they started getting into sports and running around, that you know, it was going to be time to wrap up. But, you know, in the wrestling business, you could say never, but you know, if this is going to be the last ride, I want it to be a bit, you know, I want to go out in style, and I want it to be, you know, the one last ride if it is. But the main thing is I have to get my body worked out and my body fixed before I can do this the right way. And if I do decide to come back and perform once again inside the ring, I want to do it the right way. But I'm not going away from the wrestling business completely. I want to do, you know, I'm gonna help out backstage at AACW, and you know, I'll come to other shows, ref shows, and people want me to ref. Come hang out with you guys on the podcast and whatnot. I'm still gonna be around, but as far as wrestling, you know, I got to get my body right.
I know your good friend Jared Bird said that this is bullshit and you'll be back within 6 or 7 months.
You know, Mike King can kiss my white ass.
I'm just telling you what he said.
Hey,
'Cause
watch
I
it.
asked him on the air the other night. What I'm gonna make you think on this one. What year of your career was your favorite and why?
Oh, what year is my career? My career was my favorite and why? Man, that's a tough one.
And to go along with that, your least favorite year also.
My least favorite year. Oh man, my least favorite year would probably everything that happened with WCWA. Like that, you know, that kind of changed. Like, I guess that opened the other realm of, you know, what happens in the wrestling business. You know, the black, you know, the dark side or the dirty side of the wrestling business. And for the, we're not going to get into that, but you know, for those of you who do know the story, you know, that was kind of a bad year. Another bad year, I guess. 2000, I think it was 2010, 2011. The year my grandma passed away. The one that I named my oldest after, and the one that I wear pink and black for. You know, she passed away. That was, you know, that was a rough year as well. And then I think the year right after I came back from the military, that was probably one of my funnest years. And then I think, this past year with the feud, you know, the tag team feud and the feud with, you know, Christian, you know, it's been a fun year as well. And I think that's kind of like where I've left myself is where else do I go from here? Like there really isn't nothing else for me to go.
What will you miss the most after you retire, and what's something that you won't miss?
Something that I won't miss. I won't miss having to put all my gear on. Like I won't miss that at all. I put a compression pants on, that I put, you know, knee compressions on, that I put a knee brace on, that I tape my knee braces so they don't move at all. It's like a 20-minute process. So I'm definitely not going to miss that. I guess just miss the energy of the crowd. Like it's hard, like walking through that curtain and hearing the crowd erupt, and you know, getting that electric feeling. That's never going to change. And if you've never experienced that, it's hard to experience. So I guess that's going to be the hardest thing to miss, is not getting that adrenaline rush.
Yeah, I bet that's going to be difficult. I would think. Favorite matches and moments in your career?
Oh, favorite matches and moments in my career. Not all of them are good though. Not all of them are good though, but that's okay. One of them, I'm pretty sure Jared's probably in here. If he's not, I'm surprised. But one of them is Mike King and I. We almost got kicked off a wrestling show. Simply
That's next.
because simply because there was a disagreement between the promoter and the booker. The booker told the inmates that the inmates could run the asylum, and there was a brand new table that the booker told us not to break. And me, being a 18-year-old kid, trying to break out and get booked as many, anywhere and everywhere I can, told Mike King I was not breaking this table. So Mike King decided he was going to back body drop himself over me. I had no choice to sell it, and we went through the table, and nothing but laying there, making sure Mike's okay, and both looking over and seeing this promoter just going ape shit and tearing us a new butthole as soon as we get back into the locker room. And the booker's just standing in the corner laughing his ass off. And that was definitely one of my favorite moments. I think after everything that happened at WCWA, another good moment was Chavo Guerrero Sr. being there at that show. Was the first person that came and grabbed me and told me, "Hey, you don't need to see what's going on in here," and got me out. And he told me and told my parents, like, if they could pay for my ticket to fly out there, I could crash with them, train with him, because there's only one way to train. That was the Guerrero way. Unfortunately, my parents said, school comes first. And, obviously that's right. School does come first. But I was 16 and there was no way that was going to happen. And so, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I don't have any regrets of anything I've accomplished or done in my wrestling career.
I've heard that story about the breaking that table before.
I have too.
Yep.
Marcus, you got some more?
Oh, I'm laughing about Mike King.
Yep.
He's got his nose stuck in everything, don't he?
Oh yeah, I mean, me and Jared have so many stories.
Yeah.
We just need to do one of those guys one day. Just.
Yep.
Did you tell who your favorite opponent was? Was that in there?
No.
Okay.
So I got so many favorite opponents, and I know a lot of them are watching right now. Justin Danger's one of my favorite opponents. I mean, me and him probably had a 6 month feud at CHRW for the CHRW. I think it was the high risk champions. But we feuded for a good 6 months there. Me and Johnny Crisis had a crazy feud there. We ended up having an outdoor TLC match that ended up having we ended up doing climbing up on top of a semi trailer, and I did a Canadian Destroyer to him on top of the semi trailer on that. Mike King is always a favorite opponent of mine. A few guys from Georgia that I enjoyed wrestling every time I got the chance to wrestle them. My good brother Jason, the one man militia, Jason Collins, Wes, oh my God, Blaze, Matt Gilbert, all those guys down in Georgia. I enjoyed wrestling every match with them. Tagging with Chris Ross, whenever we traveled, me, Chris, and Hank, we always try to make a magic as best as we can, and I think the chemistry that the three of us had, like, we could just look and we knew what we were going to do, and that was a bond that I don't think it could ever be topped with anybody else. Just the way that the three of us worked together. Another favorite opponent of mine was the Maple Leaf Muscle, Petey Williams. I enjoyed wrestling him. I wish there was a video, a match, the match of me and him. That match was originally supposed to be him and Big Rush Jones, but Rush Jones at the time was like, I am not conditioned for that. You need to put Justin in there. It'd be a better match. And I couldn't have thanked Russ for that opportunity, you know, that moment. And then God rest his soul, another one of my favorite, opponents is my good brother Tony Duke, who just recently passed away. So there's a lot of favorite opponents, good memories that I've had out there. One of my all-time favorite matches, and I know he's probably not here right now, but Tommy Gage can confirm this, is me and Chris Ross had a tag match against Tommy Gage and his younger one of his boys. I think it was Little Gage, and we put Little Gage and Tommy Gage over. And it was by far one of the best matches that I've ever had in my career. It is easily one of my top 5 matches.
Was that in Logansport?
That was in Logansport. Yes.
In that like VFW building?
Yes, it was.
I think I was there for that.
I think you were too.
Is Chris Ross still wrestling? I even forgot about him.
No, he's not. No, he had a lot of stomach issues. I've been trying to talk him into it, because I think if I could get the CHRW or CHS reunion one more time, I think I would have extended the contract. Or not contract. I don't know why I said contract. Extended the career a little bit longer, but we'll, like I said, never say never, and we'll see.
What do you think's been your the best feud that you've had in your career?
So many feuds. One of the best. I mean, obviously, the feud with me and Christian that lasted 2018 to just recently. I mean, for Christian to really come under my, for me to take Christian under my wing, and Christian really to sit and learn and trust the whole process in learning this, the storytelling, for us to tell the story that we were able to do, to be able to make it so personal, but keep it so professional, and then be able to do a match, which is on the AACW Facebook page, of us having to do a basically a last man standing match in an empty arena back in COVID, because everybody wanted to see, our feud, and everybody wanted to see our match in Kokomo. Like, we had to put on a match during that time, so we did it in an empty arena. So that was always one of my favorite feuds. My feud with Johnny Crisis, my feud with Justin Danger, my feud with Mike King, my feud with JH Hogg that happened last year is always one of my is going to be one of my favorites. My favorite feud with West Blaze in Georgia. I mean, he still to this day says he's 2-1, which it brings me to the point, because I think you guys are ready for it, and I think everybody else is ready for it. So I've been doing a lot of thinking and trying to figure out the best opponent for my last match. But before I announce the opponent, I will announce the match stipulation. And the match stipulation for November 18th and my last match will be a special guest referee match. And that special guest referee will be none other than JH Hogg. JH Hogg will be putting on the bibs and a ref shirt. He will be the referee for my final match. So now, I have been trying to think of who would be the best opponent for me, and there's always been one rivalry that has not been finished yet. There's one rivalry that has not had a rubber match yet, and so I think here it would be the perfect way to go out is to finish the score. None only than Juston Terrell versus the cold-blooded killer, Travis Southern.
Wow.
That'd be a good one.
That makes sense.
And Travis is on here watching right now as well. So
Well, what's up, Travis?
Exactly. Both of us are 1-1. I beat him for the AACW World Championship. He beat me for the AACW World Championship. Now it's time to finish the score.
And wasn't that in the same night?
That was both. Yep, both matches were in the same night.
Yep, you need to get a winner out of that.
Tell you what, you add that match to the card, and the card that I've seen so far, it's going to be a really great card.
Yes.
So I have the utmost respect for Travis. Like I said, that's one feud that has not been finished. That's one score that has not been finished. That's one record that has not been finished. And it's the only record that needs to be finished before I can go away and retire, take care of my body. So if Travis will gladly do me the honor and accept, I would love to throw down one last time in the middle of the squared circle in Kokomo, Indiana, in front of my friends, family, and the hell crazy raisin, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, rednecks of Kokomo, Indiana, who knows?
I got some names, but I'm not going to say it.
The one thing, they're the craziest crowd.
Oh, yeah.
We've been the 50. I mean, the shows we've been to this year, 52, 53, something like that.
Yeah, 51 right now.
Yeah, 51 so far. At the Kokomo crowd is the craziest crowd that we've seen.
They are, and that's the thing, and that's the thing. Like Kokomo deserves pro wrestling, and I think a lot, not just Kokomo, a lot of these small towns, not just in Indiana but anywhere, wrestling can bring smaller communities together, and as you see, like with AEW and with WWE and New Japan and Ring of Honor, and the list goes on. Like all these, these wrestling shows are coming around. Like the popularity of professional wrestling is getting, it's getting back to that attitude popularity again. Getting back to, that level of popularity of the Monday Night Wars. And, we need more wrestling shows in smaller communities because I think it keeps a lot, it brings a lot of kids from the smaller communities or the lower class communities. It keeps them out of trouble too.
I think it keeps them out of trouble, and I also think it shows them kids from smaller communities that you can go after your dreams because they get to see you guys out there doing something that maybe they want to do, and they see there's outlets that they can do it.
Exactly.
And Travis Southern says, "Can't wait."
Man, I can't wait.
Is there anybody that you wanted to wrestle that you haven't gotten to?
Yeah. So actually, this brings me up to this next point. So I listened to everything and saw everything that happened over, with DCCW over the weekend. And first and foremost, I stand with IK3. I stand with Jonathan Owens. And when I could sit there and say, when I felt my greatest, felt the best I felt 3 or 4 years ago, Jonathan was getting ready to break out. I was just starting to hear his name. He was just starting to get that buzz. And Jared said, "Hey, like, I want to bring him in, or I want you to come work a show." And I wanted you and JK, Jonathan to work. And I wanted to work Jonathan. That was always a dream match, and it never got to happen. And maybe within a year, maybe with, like I said, never say never, that I can get back into the shape that I want to be in, and me and IK3 can have the match that the dream match that I've wanted to have. So that's one that I've never got to actual wrestle, that I've always wanted to wrestle. Trying to think of other ones. No, that's really one that really stands out besides Troy Miller. I've never, I never got to wrestle Troy Miller, and when I started in 2006, Troy was, he was hot then, and for some reason just never got to wrestle him. So that's another opponent that I never got to wrestle that I've always wanted to wrestle. And then trying to think, I think there's one more I can think of. No, maybe not off the top of my head. I can think of.
What about big name? Would it have been Owen Hart?
If I could have wrestled Owen 100%, I would have wrestled Owen. I would have wrestled Brett. You name it. There's so many wrestlers. Even today, like if I got an opportunity to wrestle, I would love to wrestle. Chris Jericho. He was always one of my my favorite wrestlers, and my bucket list was got to. So coming out of I was reading the question. Coming out of wrestling is not out of the question. Not necessarily. I mean, to answer the question there, it's not necessarily, but like I said, I'm trying to avoid surgery, and if I have to have surgery, I'm going to do it if it's necessary. But if it means rest a year, 2 years, and then get my body right and see if I can come back, then it's a possibility. But my family and my kids, my body comes first. But yeah, Chris Jericho I would love to work with Chris Jericho, Owen Hart, Bret Hart. Man, there's so many names I could go on and on of guys I would love to wrestle.
Okay, I know you do stuff in the back at AACW and you help out and stuff. Can you tell the fans, because I don't know if the fans know what you do. Can you go into just a little bit of detail? You don't have to tell everything, but kind of what you will be doing backstage and stuff since right now at least you're taking a break or retiring.
I can't give out too much information. So we'll just leave it at that.
Okay,
I will, and what I will say, it'll come out when it's supposed to come out.
Okay. Let me ask you this: who do you think the future of AACW is?
Ooh,
You can give me more than one answer if you want.
Okay. I mean, the future of AACW. I mean, the thing is, like, I've never really got to sit down and actually, I've always been busy during the shows and been focused not just on my matches, but helping out around, guys in the back and whatnot. But there's a lot of potential in AACW. You look at you look at the face of AACW right now, and that's Christian Cash. The kid has a great future ahead of him, and if he continues to grow and develop like he's always been, then I think, I think Christian can be the star that we all think he can be. Then you look at Jake Elliott. He continues to get better and better each and every single day. Triple B. You look at him. He's getting better. All these kids are putting in the work, and some of them, I have noticed it on some of them, because I got this, during the battle royal, I got to sit out, not just with you guys, but got to sit out and watch some of them and watch, see some of these guys, and how far they've come in their training and, ring experience and whatnot. So the future is great, with Christian, with Jake Elliott, with, veterans like Justin Danger and Johnny Crisis, and now adding Hank and having, Mike and Travis, all the, those veterans there, and adding Congo Kong, who, has taken a huge interest into our locker room and our training class too. So all this does help. And it's exciting to see where the possibilities of us going. And I think we have a good locker room, and I think we have a good a core as far as everybody on board as far as the promotion.
You definitely have the fan base, so that's for sure. And you got a nice facility now. I think it's a pretty awesome facility that you guys have. And it sounds like you guys got a good relationship with them. So sound like you guys got big plans for next year. So
We do. It's you got to do baby steps sometimes, but sometimes you got to take a leap of faith. And I think 2024 we're going to be taking a leap of faith.
I've got a match that a kind of a dream match that I would like to see you guys do maybe in the future sometime. I think Kristen Cash and Kevin Panic would be outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin's another one that's been working hard, and to see him, finally hold up, be the champ. Oh, Kelly, that's fighting words right there. But if I had to pick between the two of you, I'm sorry, Marcus, but you're out. You're out, Marcus. You're out. I'm terrified of Kelly. I'm
Well, she's the heel now, so it doesn't matter. She's my
Yeah.
king, buddy, now. So
Yep.
Oh, she likes the heels now. So
Yep.
well, I don't know. Did you see during the Battle Royal, the Royal Rumble, she headed my king or Kane?
Oh, so
She's-
she switched
yeah.
sides now.
Yep.
I see. But yeah, like Kevin has come a long way. Now he's getting ready to take on Cody Lee, and that's going to be he took on IK3 the last show. I thought that was a really good match.
I was getting ready to say that was a real good match.
Yeah.
And now he's getting ready to wrestle Cody Lee, and that's just going to be another match, and just to prove to see where he's at. And and that's why I tell a lot of I try to tell a lot of these guys, like, it's time. Sometimes you gotta bet on yourself, and you got to take a leap of faith. And Kevin's done that, and Kevin has added stock and value to his name in AACW, and I am excited to see how the match between him and Cody turn out, and see where his stock goes from there.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I really like Panic. I think he's really good. I'm really looking forward to this show coming up. It's next Saturday, right?
Next Saturday. Yep.
The 18th.
18th.
That's it looks like a stacked card.
Oh, what time's bell time? Is it 7?
It's going to be 7:00 bell time. Yes.
And doors look like doors open a little early.
For ticket holders.
Yeah.
So pre-sale ticket holders, if you buy pre-sale tickets, you're going to get in at 5:45, 15 minutes early. I mean, you guys bought tickets early. You deserve to get in early, right?
Yeah.
Seems fair, right?
Yep.
So yeah, they're going to get in 15 minutes early. Then general admission, they get in at 6, and then show starts at 7:05.
It sounds like an awesome event.
Where can people get the pre-sale tickets at?
So you can personal message me on my personal page. You can personal message Shane Kelser. You can message AACW Old School Lives to get tickets. If you can't find them, you guys can message Gonzo. Gonzo can put you in the right direction to message us. You can message Marcus Fine if you need tickets. Marcus can put you in the direction. Word of mouth gets around, and like I told I told the fans last month in Kokomo, all you guys are here. If you guys can go home, tell one person. All you guys just tell one person and bring one person. You basically double our chances to double our fans, and that's you got to that's how you promote. You got to get the word of mouth. You got to make these fans want to come back, and I'm thankful that we have the people in place and the right people in place to be able to continue to draw our fans in Kokomo back to our shows and keep them wanting to come back.
Yeah, I think you guys have done some great things so far this year. You've run in some veterans, like you said, and you also have run in some different talent and strengthen your guys' roster. So, I mean, you guys are doing a great job.
Well, 100%, and I can't wait because we got two announcements or actually 3 announcements that we I can't wait to announce till the next show. actually, one of them I'll go ahead and announce now.
Okay.
Because it's so we don't have the exact date, but next year there will be the first ever AACW Michael 3-count Atwell Memorial Tourney, which will feature 16 superstars in a tournament to just be the first 3-count champion in honor of my good friend Michael Atwell. And the plan is to fly his mom and his wife out here to present the winner of that tournament when it happens next year. But that is happening next year.
Can you give a little bit of backstory on the Michael Atwell?
So I got into I started getting into streaming, video game streaming, and back when COVID hit, and I met this guy, and his name was Michael Atwell, and we just clicked, and didn't really know why we clicked, but it was just an immediate click. And then we started, streaming and playing more video games together, and then it dawned on me, hey, we both are wrestling fans. And it come to find out that he was actually a referee down in Texas. He reffed a lot of shows in Texas, and actually he was real good friends with Roxanne in NXT, or the new girl from Laredo in NXT. He was good friends with her, and he is so a few. So this is the 1-year anniversary, I believe. This year was the 1-year anniversary. He was diagnosed 2 years ago with stage 4 colon cancer and passed away last year. And so his mom and his wife gave me permission to honor him by doing a tournament for that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Marcus, do you have anything else?
I don't know if I got a question. Well, I guess I do, but back to your favorite opponents. Did you ever think of wrestling Jordan James? And the reason I ask, back at the Bearcat Rumble, it was you, Christian Cash, Dalton Love, and Luke Savage in the cage, if you remember right. Whoever got the pin got to be the number 1 contender for the title.
Okay.
And I believe it or not, was rooting for you, even though you were an ass at me at the time.
Wow, you're rooting for me, even though I was an asshole.
Yeah, because I wanted to see you and Jordan James go one-on-one. Have you ever thought about that at all?
That honestly, that was the first time meeting Jordan. But I'm always open to working anybody. Again, that was it's just one of those things. I don't want to say, hey, I want to wrestle this person, and then go out there and give them, 60%. I want to be able to give them everything that I got. And if I can't do that, then I'm doing a disservice to myself, my opponent, the fans, and the promoter. And I don't want to do that. And that's why, taking time off, stepping out of the ring, getting my body right, in hopes to maybe one day come back. But if I'm out and I don't and I get my body right, maybe I don't want to come back and just want to do backstage stuff and be a fan. Who knows? We can't predict the future, and they always say, again, in the wrestling business, never say never. So the main thing is get my body right first.
What did my king say? I said, are you going to do a Ric Flair retirement where we'll see you like December, or you going to do a John Cena? And he put it closer to John Cena. He gave you what did he say? 8-9 months?
Yeah, I said 6-7 months. I said
no. We'll see. We'll see.
I think what he said before that was he's full of shit, and then he said that. I think if I remember correct, is exactly what he said. But he said so much stuff that night. So.
I wish I was, but after the cage match, with Christian, I sat there and I was like, you know what, maybe it is time, and I think it's the right time. At least for right now, it's the right time.
I'm surprised Tony didn't ask you this. We need your Mount Rushmores.
Oh,
Independent and big time.
big time Mount Rushmore. Okay,
And
so
then independent if you want to do it.
I mean,
And independence if you want to do it.
okay. So we'll do my top 5 Mount Rushmore. Michaels is definitely up there. Flair. So Michaels, Flair. Wow. Put me on the spot here. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh,
Well,
take
you
it freeze
yeah.
up.
Hey, freeze up.
Michaels, Flair, Brett, Taker, and Austin.
I want to ask you a question real quick. Do you think if Owen's career wouldn't have been cut short, do you think he could have overtook Brett?
100%. 100%.
I think so too. And I was a big Bret Hart fan as well, but I was a big Owen fan.
I'm a huge Owen fan, and Brett had everything, but I think Owen had everything Brett had and more.
Yep. I agree.
He's still having some trouble.
It's his internet.
Lives out in the boondocks.
I was going to say out there in the middle of nowhere.
I think that's all I have on my list. Oh, we talked about some of the big names. AACW had Road Warrior Animal at one time.
Yep.
Did they not bring in the Barbarian at one time as well?
We did bring in the Barbarian.
Was there others? I was trying to remember.
Yes, we did. We brought in Rikishi. It was me, J.H. Hogg, and Rikishi versus Mike King, Dice Man Ronnie Vegas, and Rob Kincaid.
Yeah, and that was at Center Stage. That was at Center Stage, right?
That was Center Stage / Front Row Live. Yep.
Yeah, if you look for it. Well, that's all that's on my paper, guys.
Chris, you got anything else? I'm hoping Mike was going to be able to get on here. I know he had a lot to say.
Mike always got things to say. Mike always got things to say.
Good or bad.
Oh, yeah, good or bad. That's 100% sure. That's 100% true. But
you do have Jake Elliott made a comment, and he just said, "Don't ignore my comment." The comment he had made is right here.
His place is feeling empty, and I mean, like I said, it is what it is. It's time to put up or shut up. That's how I look at it in AACW. The landscape and the groundwork's going to be changing in 2024. There's going to have to be new stars, and I can't wait to sit back and see who's gonna put up or shut up.
When is the next AACW show after this Saturday?
I do believe it's March. I think we're going to take the whole winter off, and then I think we come back in March. Hit it off strong in March. We have 6 dates so far. We're working on a few more. I would like to fill up the whole calendar, but I don't know if we're going to be able to pull that off. But we are definitely going to try to get at least 8 to 10 shows next year.
That'd be cool. Are they going to be at the same building that you?
We have 6 confirmed dates at the venue. So the goal is to get at least 4 more outside of that venue. When you wrestled for Georgia, did you wrestle for SFCW Southern Fried Chicken? No, I didn't. I wrestled for RCW. I think it's called Renegade Championship Wrestling. There was another one I can't think of it at the top of my head. Another guy, one of the promoters down there, his name is Tommy Gage as well. So it was really confusing going down there, going Tommy Gage and Tommy Gage. And so I had to explain to him that there was another Tommy Gage in Indiana. And then the other promoter was Johnny Blaze. You guys may or may not know him. He used to wrestle in WCW. You could probably find his name on YouTube, Johnny Blaze. But that is Wes. Oh my God, Blaze is dead. So I got to work shows for them. It's pretty cool. They're awesome people. And I'm trying to get my Georgia boys to come back up here and wrestle shows for us because they always put on a good show. But it's again, I can't wait to see what the future holds for AACW. I can't wait to see what the future holds for professional wrestling. And we got some big things coming our way, especially you guys too. I like how what you guys do, and I like the partnerships that AACW has with WCWO and DCCW, and maybe hopefully all three of us can put on a show together and collab one day, have a real big show. So who knows? We'll see one day.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I do have another question real quick. From the time you started in the business till now, what's been the biggest changes you've seen in the wrestling business? Good or bad?
The biggest change is it's the old school feel is no more. I mean, Joey and Mike talked about it the other day. Nowadays would not work back in the day, and old school's gone. It feels like old school is gone, and you have people that they get a little rub and their head goes from here to here, and it's not like that no more. You used to have to pay your dues, and you used to have to work for a hot dog and a handshake, and now it's not. It's hardly that anymore, and I don't know. I think it's more. It's leaning more towards privilege, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I think if what happened the other night would have happened 30 years ago, I pussies would have got punched in the mouth.
Well, you heard what Power said.
I haven't seen any updates on it or anything like that. I know, I heard the story of what happened, but again, it happened 3 years ago. The story's done. It's over with. His name's clean. Everything's got squashed. It's done. It's over with. I don't know why we're bringing up the past. He was not convicted of anything. He was not found guilty of anything. Even the accuser redacted her statement and let the fucking shit go. And pardon my French, I haven't said the F word all night. I don't seem like, but who cares? Like JKO, I don't know why I keep saying JKO. Joey Kid Owens Jr., I guess. No. Jonathan he's a tremendous talent. The kid can go somewhere, but it's the demons that won't leave him alone. And it's not fair to him. It's not fair to Joey. It's not fair to the companies that Jonathan works for.
Have you ever worked at WCWO?
I have not.
And also, I just want to let you know that Billy Buzz, the guy that commented about the Georgia stuff, he's one of our big fans. He's from Connecticut, and
Oh, okay.
he's a big wrestling fan and watches all our stuff. And I know he loves the Kokomo shows and WCWO
Oh, right. That's awesome.
and DCCW. He's one of our biggest fans. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Give Billy a shout out. He's a great guy.
What's up, Billy? That's awesome, man.
So you've hit drama. I mean, your first day in the business was drama. Have you hit anything other than that? And you don't have to go into detail. Was there anything similar to that, or as wild as that? And like I said, you don't have to name date. You don't have to give a stat. But I mean, I'm surprised you would stick around if that was your first day in the business. Seeing that shit right off the bat, like, why would I want to do this? And
oh no,
16 years old. It's like,
I think the things that happened at WCWA, it happened. I think I was a junior in high school, so I was already a year into the business. I was still new, so but like besides, like that was one of the real eye openers that I really got to see, and it was just like, well, like I don't know if I really want to be a part of something, if this is how it really goes down with some of these promoters. But then, again, you can't take a few bad apples and say every one of them's bad, because that's not true. So like, yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen that many crazy things. But yeah, there's not much I would change or even consider changing in my wrestling career.
How was it when you started? Like you said, 16, 17 years old. How did your classmates? What did they think of you being a wrestler, or did they know, or how many knew? Did anybody give you any crap, or?
So
I'll try to challenge you. Yeah, I'll try to challenge you.
No. So it was crazy because, like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, especially like nowadays, a lot of these kids, or I wouldn't say a lot of these kids, but a lot of wrestlers nowadays, we all started on the trampoline, wrestling with our friends, wrestling with our wrestling buddies. You can't tell me you didn't. 90% of us did. And so that's how I started, is wrestling on the trampoline with my buddies. Every day, my mom would cook cook dinner for an army, and she could tell you in the comments she cooked for, not just me, not just for her, my dad, and her 3 kids. She cooked for my 20 friends too, every single night, because every night after school, if we didn't have football practice or something, we'd come down and we set up the camera, wrestle on the trampoline, and we would make wrestling shows on the trampoline. And so then when I finally broke out, when I finally got into training and started, I was getting ready to have my first match. I told all my friends, and all my friends, it was excited. And it's pretty cool. Like my best friend, basically I consider him my brother, because he's an only child. He's going to be at the show on Saturday, next Saturday. So it's going to be an awesome feeling to see old classmates, see everybody that's going to be there to see the final match.
Is there any of those videos out there?
Is there any of those videos out there of me on the trampoline?
Backyard wrestling that,
I have them somewhere. I know I have them on DVD. I just
Mama Grab. We need that.
I gotta dig through the DVDs and find them, but I do have them somewhere.
Chris will play it. We have it on here one night.
Yeah, we'll play them.
But yeah, they were comical.
You're right. I think everybody had wrestling matches on trampoline.
It was, and especially like early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000 kids. Like
Yep.
that's what we did, because at the time, you had the Monday Night Wars and you had the Attitude Era and WWE and WCW. They were on that high and that peak level. Everybody knew professional wrestling. Everybody wanted to be a wrestler.
Mhm.
Everybody wanted to be, The Rock, Stone Cold, John Cena. Everybody wanted to be that. And
Well, then
so
you had
how you do it, you reenacted on the in the trampoline. You reenacted on, your bed, your bed. You reacted in your bedrooms.
yeah, and then also you at that time you had ECW starting to really
Yeah,
take
you had
off at their
ECW at the
height.
time, and you had kids trying to learn how to have hardcore matches in the backyard.
Well, the Hardy Boys were big into that kind of wrestling, and then they made it.
Exactly.
So I mean, they were kind of in a way, I think maybe the catalyst for
I
that.
remember we used to jump off the garage onto the trampoline on top of each other and shit.
Yep.
I mean, we used to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Like my mom could tell you many stories where she'd look outside and wondering where I'm at and couldn't find me, and then would go outside looking for me and look up and would see that I'm on the roof of my grandpa's garage, jumping off the garage onto the trampoline.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we used to do some crazy stuff between trampoline and or on amateur wrestling mats.
Yep.
That's another thing we didn't ask. Did you do any other sports in like high school or anything?
I wrestled in high school. I wrestled when I was 4. From 4 to high school, I was in amateur wrestling. I played football. From elementary to high school, I played basketball. I mean, I was always in sports, and when I was in sports, my parents always told me as long as I was in sports, I didn't have to get a job. So, as a teenager, why the hell would I get a job? Why the hell would I get a job? I'll just play sports all year round, and that's what I did. And maybe it bit me in the ass, but I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I played all my sports. I made the memories I could, and I don't regret it one bit.
How much did amateur wrestling kind of translate into the pro wrestling?
It actually, I mean, it translated a lot as far as like, already knowing like kind of how like things are placed as far as lockups. When you're locking up amateurly, it's almost the same way as a lockup in professional wrestling. So there's a lot of different styles and that are similar to amateur wrestling and professional wrestling. So I always, I tell people, I feel like a lot of people who were amateur wrestlings do kind of have an advantage in professional wrestling as far as making it look making some of the moves look realistic and whatnot, because some of the lockups and movements are amateur based movements.
I was I was in amateur wrestling from about 5 years old through high school, just like you, but I've never been a pro wrestler, but I always thought that like that and like the body control and stuff like that. I always thought amateur wrestling would really help. And you've seen guys like Kurt Angle and some guys that have had a lot of amateur wrestling experience have a whole lot of success in professional wrestling.
Yeah, and you can see that too. Like you can even see like them having success in the professional wrestling, and then even leaving and having success in mixed martial arts. I mean, you look at Brock Lesnar, but then again, look at Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a monster in general. Like he was it was bound to happen. Him have a little bit of success in UFC. Yeah. I mean, the guy has freaking cinder blocks for hands.
Bobby Lashley.
Another one. You look at Bobby Lashley, being an amateur wrestler, being a professional wrestler, having success in MMA.
He still tried, but it ain't working. He hasn't gave up. He's been trying this whole time. But
Look at this.
Oh, poor
ego here, Jared.
guy, Jared.
Is he giving up or is he coming on?
I don't know. Oh,
he's been trying to get on, but it ain't letting him.
Well, go get in your truck, Jared. That's how it normally works.
yeah. Go hop in your truck.
He's normally at work then.
What kind of injuries have you had? Have you had? I know you say your back's messed up now, but have you had any major injuries?
In the wrestling business, the only major injury I had, knock on wood. No, I don't have you blocked, Jared. The only injury I gotten from wrestling is, speaking of injuries, this asshole here was the one that gave me the only injury I ever sustained in the wrestling business. Was from Mike King when he broke my nose in a battle royal at Center Stage at AACW. I just did, Jared. I think Mike's having a little temper tantrum right now.
Was there anything else you wanted to talk about that we didn't hit on?
I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to know? I mean, we hit on my we hit my Mount Rushmore. Is there any other Mount Rushmores you want to talk about?
He's mad.
He is mad. You can tell.
Did he give out his independent Mount Rushmore?
No. I don't know if he wants to do it or not.
I don't know a lot of independents. But as far as like my independent, me personally, my if I have to give of the independent wrestlers, I'll just do it this way. My top 5 independent wrestlers that I've been around. I'll do it that way. I'll just J.H. Hogg, Dice Man Ronnie Vegas, Tommy Gage, Mike King, and Bobo Brazil Jr. So that'll be my top 5.
2 of my 4. That's pretty good. Say 2 of those guys are on my independent.
Billy Bell's had a question. He was wanting to know what if you listen to music, and if so, what do you like?
I listen to a lot of music. I listen to just about anything. Like I listen to, country, rock, just depending on the mood. But I'm a huge metal fan. I'm a huge rock fan. Avenged Sevenfold, Metallica, Leonard Skinner. Let's see who else. Papa Roach. I'm a huge Skillet fan. I've met Skillet several times. I used a lot of Skillet music. I do love Disney princesses because I do have 2 daughters, so I do like Moana and Elsa and Anna. But I am going to be using a new song November 18th. So it's by Bad Wolves. It's called Legends Never Die. I'm pretty excited about that. I really like it. J.H. Hogg actually showed me it, and I really liked it. So that's the song I'm going to use for the 18th. But I'll listen to anything as long as it sounds good and it's not too repetitive.
I have a question for you, and it's about heavy metal music. I just found this group here recently and listened to a few of their songs, see if you heard of them, because I'd never heard of them before, and they've been around for a long time. Mushroom Head.
Mushroom Head? Yeah, I've heard of Mushroom Head. I don't know many songs of them, but yes, I've heard of Mushroom Head.
Okay. I had never heard of them. They've been around since 93, and I had never heard of them. But
that Mushroom Head, Whitechapel, I mean, you name them.
You got another one to ask him, Tony.
What?
You got another one you normally ask everybody. Chris asked about the music. What's the other thing you normally ask?
Oh, food.
Oh,
Wait,
What kind
food.
of yeah? What kind of food you like to eat?
Well, if you want to know, right before I came on here, I had venison chili. So I had deer chili right before I came on here. So I do
That
like deer
sounds
meat.
good.
Oh, it was really good. It was really good.
Did you shoot the deer?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Do you hunt? I mean,
I haven't been hunting in years. No, one of my football players and his dad, one of my fellow football coaches, they went hunting and they had a whole freaking freezer full, and he gave me some deer meat, and so I had me some deer chili. I had my dad make me some deer chili. Thank you, Dad. So yeah.
Tell them guys I'm sorry.
All right.
But as far as that, like I like pizza, your standard pizza. I like tacos. Everybody likes tacos. There's this good restaurant. I mean, it's super expensive, but I don't know if you guys ever ate there, but it's in Kokomo. It's a Japanese restaurant. It's called Taku.
we got one of them in town, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna go, so I don't eat that.
Yeah, it's a Japanese steakhouse. They cook the food right in front of you. It's phenomenal.
We'll have to try that. We haven't had that yet.
I mean, you guys
It's
have to get on
good.
that because I can't have shrimp. So
Oh no, you could ask. I mean, you got lobster, you got, and you name it, you can get anything you want there, basically. But it's really, really good.
We had a Thai place there in Kokomo before one of the shows, and it was real good. But I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, there's Thai places. I mean, there's a lot of good restaurants in Kokomo. But yeah, like I like Mexican food, Japanese food, Italian food. You name it, I'm willing to try it. I don't like mayonnaise. I hate mayonnaise. I hate cottage cheese. I freaking hate cottage cheese. And my middle child, she loves it. Mallory. She loves cottage cheese.
I'm not a fan of cottage cheese either. All right. Well, wait a minute. What? Jared saying something again. Oh, he said the best restaurant around is Mama Grub's Kitchen.
I'm telling you guys, Mama Grub has the best kitchen in town.
All right, Marcus. Anything else you want to ask before we get out of here?
we covered it.
Don't forget November 18th, 7:05, Kokomo, Indiana, AACW November Reign. If you need tickets, get a hold of Justin, Shane Cowser. Like he said, you can get a hold of us. We can get you in the right direction. Marcus knows as well. Anything I left out?
No, like I said, this is our last show at the end. This is our last show for the year. Come out. If everybody can bring, is Justin wearing his AACW Mike King shirt? No. I'm actually wearing my AACW Terrell shirt. Nice try, Jared. But no, like I said, if everybody from the last show could bring one fan out, one extra fan out, we can continue to build what we in a direction that way we want to go, because we don't want to just we don't just want to stay there in that venue. We want to travel and we want to grow and grow, because not only do we want to succeed, but we want DCCW to succeed. We want WCWO to succeed. And we want independent professional wrestling to succeed in general. And we are willing to work with anybody. We're willing to work with any other shows too. It's just, we want to find, but in order for a promotion to grow or a business to grow, is everybody's got to put the bullshit aside, keep it as a professional relationship, and that's how things grow. grow for a common good. And that's basically all I got now.
All right, we appreciate everybody joining us. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, X. I keep calling it Twitter, but now it's X as well. Also, check out the ASAP All Sports All Plays
I
Network.
can't hear you now.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Must be you. I can hear you.
But we appreciate everybody watching. We'll see you guys next time. Actually, we'll be back Monday for another episode of Gonzo's Wrestling Room at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Hope everybody has a great night.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this podcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my